I started working at 13 years old. I grew up in a family that it wasn't poor family, but just essentials and nothing else.
Meet Elena Asher, the successful CEO and entrepreneur who started with nothing.
She isn't afraid to share the controversial truths about success, men, and relationships.
I got rejected in my life too. I would approach guys and you know what, that wasn't their type. I can tell you that there are many, many men that looking to be taken care of.
I feel like there's a lot of men that will be actually scared to approach a good-looking girl, but even more scared to approach a good-looking girl that also super successful. What do you think about that?
Well, the reason why you would be scared is you name it, or I would say nervous too.
Correct,
or,
nervous, whatever you want to call it.
It can be out of two reasons, right? So the number one reason, it's just a fear of rejection. Most of women, like that's what we want. We want a man that like a little bit intimate, you know? If I feel no power from you, if I don't feel smaller next to you, if I don't shrink a little bit, you're not for me. So you absolutely have to go for someone that besides the qualities that you're looking in person, you're also very attracted to them. I wouldn't advise anyone to have a child at 20. You know what I'm saying? You must date people to see if, you know, you want to spend your years with or marry or whatever your intention. The point is, you understand very quickly in the beginning if this has a real potential.
What do you think on who should make more, the guy or the girl in a relationship in today's days?
I think.
What's going on, dear friends? Thank you so much for tuning in into another great episode of Tom Talk Success, where my goal is to bring you a lot of successful entrepreneurs and to share with you what are the stuff that they're doing and what are the tips that they can share with you guys to make you guys better. And so today I have a true pleasure to introduce Elena. Elena has done a lot of stuff in her life. She's the CEO of Flashmakers. She's running multiple businesses as of today, and she's super successful. She have done it by herself. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
How's your day going?
It's awesome. Thank you.
It's I always say we live in, I don't know if you know, but I think Miami, or if you will agree with me, I'll say, would you say is the best place to live in?
I love Miami. I'm
Wow.
with you. It's beautiful. You know, the only people that I ever heard say, I hate Miami, I can't stand Miami, is people that haven't lived anywhere else.
Wow.
So it's amazing.
So, Elena, you achieved massive success throughout your life. What is it about you that made you successful?
That's a very nice question. Honestly, and I get that question all the time. And I have a short answer to it, and people just laugh it off, but it's just true. I just don't want to be poor.
Wow.
So it's like I always just wanted to have a comfortable life. I never felt like I need to be like ultra rich or have a yacht or private jet, but I grew up in a family that it wasn't poor family, but just essentials and nothing else. And so I always wanted, you know, a little bit more comfortable. And that's really what motivated me. I started working at 13 years old, so
Wow.
I always loved money. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's a good thing. And I think a lot of girls and ladies should actually learn from you, especially where we are today. That I don't know if you agree with me, but to me, I feel like there's a lot of women that just waiting for somebody to take care. Now, I'm not saying this is not how it should be. A man should be the provider, the one that take care of it, the one that buy the stuff, the nice stuff, all of that. But I don't agree, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't agree with just waiting, doing absolutely nothing in your life, not building any type of businesses, not being interesting person, just wait for somebody to
I
pay for
love that
everything.
subject, actually.
What do you think about that?
Well, there's couple of points in what you said, and about women, but then it's also about men. Um, Women, you know, when you say a lot of women just wait for somebody to come and save them and stuff like that, yes, there exist. And there's other women that just work because it just common sense for them. They just feel like this is what adulthood is, and they just do it for that reason. There are other women that work because they're just found something they're really good at, and they just happen to be obsessed with what they do, and naturally they just kind of like got sucked into into what they doing for business, and work that way. Another group of women that want, big success, financial success. So they go and do something like even a degree and they become a lawyer. And the next goal is like to open a firm. So it's like different types of women and why they work and what they expect. But it's just what you focus on. You can say there's so many women that just sitting and waiting. And I can tell you there's so many women that I know personally that make so much more money than their spouses or any men that I know for the most part, just because I'm in beauty industry for a decade and a half, and naturally I work with women and women that are business owners for
Wow.
14 years. And so honestly, when people start saying these things, it's a little bit interesting to me because they're different people, and how they do it and what they do, honestly, it's to their best capability and what they want. And when you look at men, because I don't like when people do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to look.
Fingers.
You have to look at both
And
sides.
when you look at men, um, also as someone that I am a woman and I always had my own money, I can tell you that there are many, many men that looking to be taken care of.
Wow.
I can tell you this, especially in places
I
like
didn't hear
Miami.
that for a while.
And I can tell you this
That's interesting.
because that's my experience, and this is the experience of me talking to other successful women, and they're men.
Like they're all sharing the same thing that like they were like, wow, we are actually surprising. It seems like
They're
there's
different
men.
men. They will lie themselves into getting close to you. They will pretend they have a good job, pretend they have a good watch, pretend it's like a facade, and then you just find out they don't have anything, and then they have this story, and then they want you to pay for them. So there's these types of men. There's other types of men, that you said, you know, somebody that is will provide and they just want to. You just that's what they feel like. There's other group of men that will say, well, I want someone to build with, I want someone to hustle with. So they're looking for like a partner for everything in life. They don't really look at you as a woman necessarily, but they're looking at you as like everything. They expect you to be, the wife and the mom and the business partner and all of these things. So there's different men too, and there's men that do nothing at all, and they just hate on others for having things. So there are different groups of people with different interests, different capabilities. And I think talking about each other, it's fine, but it's so funny, especially with internet. People go political, right? It's like we all have different opinions. We all look for different things. And it's just kind of silly to me that you go online sometimes and someone will post something about a gold digger and all these men jumping in. Oh, the gold digger, all the just the wars, all the this and that. You speak Russian, тарелочница.
No.
It's so crazy to me. It's like, first of all, if you don't like women that money for them is uh it's a factor, it's important, why you focus on them? Why it bothers you so much? Why you feel the necessity to, or it's like an instinct almost, to go and like offend them? I must make sure I offend the gold digger. It's like, let me say something horrible, I show them, you know what
It's
I'm saying?
it's also like, don't you have stuff to do in your life that
No,
you
they don't.
focus on that? You know
But
what I mean?
men that do that, they don't have stuff to do, because that's the reason why they sit on the internet and argue with people they never met. But it's like, that's my point. Or women say the men must provide. They have to buy you stuff. They have to pay. Nobody has to do anything. First of all, let's start there. Or the opposite: women have to clean, have to cook, have to. Nobody has
To
to
do
do
nothing.
anything.
I
So
like
what
it.
I think the smartest thing to do is just to kind of like reflect on what you're looking for and go just by that, because I'm not going to sit here and say a man has to pay or has to provide, but I just going to choose a man that want to.
Mm.
I'm not going to convince all men in the world to provide or be nice or respectful or be loyal. I'm not going to say you have to be loyal. You don't have to do anything. But when it's my turn to choose, I'm going to choose someone that wants to be loyal. You
I
understand?
like it. I like it.
This is
So
it.
you're saying there's a lot of groups, and essentially every type of group, every type of individual will go through a certain group, and
Yes.
and he'll find which group he wants to connect with.
And once you understand this, how it is, I mean, it's just logic. It really, everybody just stops bothering you. Whatever people say, their opinions about you, you just say, you know nothing about me. You're not like in the same category as interest with me or anything else as a human, the type of person. We're so unrelated in everything. So I don't care what you think about me. You
That's
know what
very
I'm saying?
interesting. That's very interesting. And that kind of led me to something that I want to ask you. So in Miami, there's a lot of good-looking girls, right? And I feel like a lot of times, if we talk about, relationships and stuff like that, I feel like there's a lot of men that will be actually scared to approach a good-looking girl, but even more scared to approach a good-looking girl that also super successful. What do you think about that?
Well, the reason why you would be scared, as you name it, or I would say nervous too,
Correct,
or
nervous,
it,
whatever you want to
it,
call
it
it.
it can be out of two reasons, right? So the number one reason, it's just a fear of rejection. A
Hmm.
lot of men, they just don't like to get no for an answer. And I think we need to work on ourselves if that's the situation, because you will get no for an answer in your life on many things,
Not just
but
women.
exactly, and if you don't try you don't know. And what if she says yes? You know what I'm saying? So you just miss the whole opportunity. And another thing is, men don't approach sometimes because they they kind of know that it's really not low-key, not for me,
Hmm.
like in
Like they know they're not in the level.
I it's not even I don't want to be offensive or, this is gonna be online and people gonna talk so much trash about what I say anyways. But like in Russian, for example, because now I know that you speak Russian, so I throw my little explanations
Yeah.
because they don't have a word like this in English. Не потяну. So it's a man that when they know about you that you have business, so you have all these responsibilities and the lifestyle, they just know they're not going to be able to kind of contribute to that. So they say maybe I shouldn't approach. You know what? Better. I prefer. But if it's
But
the first reason, if you just kind of like think, oh, maybe she's not gonna like me. But that's always a possibility. I got rejected in my life too. I would approach guys and you know what, that wasn't their type. But I say hello and I just kind of like I try. I got rejected in my life too.
I have a lot of
Say
respect to that, by the way, because I feel like a lot of girls will be like, that's the last thing they will do.
I have
Like,
100%.
you know what I mean?
I'm not going to like approach,
In
you
a
know,
weird way. I like,
actively, like
yeah.
aggressively, but I will like look and I'll maybe smile,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'll just say hi, and I'll keep walking. You kind of like give a signal, okay, you can.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
like start talking, not in that
Yeah,
sense,
yeah, yeah.
but I'll definitely make it clear that like, hey, I like you too.
Because I feel like it's interesting. I feel like just like the men will be scared, girls a lot of times can also get intimidated by successful guys, and they'll think like, oh, he's
And I
probably
love that.
he's probably have like a lot of very successful models, like he would never look at me. And so what would you say to the girls that in this
First of all,
situation?
okay, first of all, what you just said, a man that can be like intimidating and stuff. Most of women, like that's what we want. We want a man that like we're a little bit intimidated by. You know, it's like I as a
Especially
joke,
in the Russian culture.
like as a joke, I always say like I want to be with a man that like can kill me. It's let's not take it to extreme, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying like stronger than me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bigger than me, like in the sense of just more grand
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
everything. So honestly, when I personally, and I know a lot of women like that, when I see a man that I'm like I feel intimidated, I say, "Oh, this is perfect. This is the one." Because if I feel no power from you, if I don't feel smaller next to you, if I don't shrink a little bit, you're not for me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for women, when they do feel intimidated a little bit next to a man, it's only a good thing. Go ahead and try approach. I hope that works.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. And I think what you said is super right because um, a lot of girls will look at it. Well, first of all, they'll be in those situations and sometimes they'll be like, you know what, this might not be for me. But sometimes they'll be like, oh, it might be for me, but I'm just like even scared to because I think especially here in Miami, like I feel like the environment has to do a lot of this. They're thinking in their head like, oh, there's probably so many other good looking girls that he'll prefer to go with. And
You
that's
can
like
control
taking
who
their
you fall in love with.
exactly.
Maybe
So
it's you.
so how what would you tell to those ladies to increase their confidence in themselves?
Just go and do it. Because like you said, maybe they have many, maybe there's always maybes.
Mm.
Maybe he's married. Maybe he just doesn't have a ring on, so you're gonna go say hi, and he said, "I'm sorry, I'm married." Or maybe I don't. Maybe he's gay. Maybe there's so many maybes. So you thinking, oh, he probably has a lot of girls already lined up. There is so many other things that's why it might be no. So might as well just go ask.
So how ladies can be like you or men, like learn from you and be like, because you seems like you don't care,
I
like
really
just
don't.
don't care in general. You know what I mean? So how the fuck like somebody will be have this thinking that he doesn't care, a guy or a girl?
Because you have to go what you want. If you want anything, you have to go for it. You have to at least try. Because the thing is, too, with approaching, what you say, it's like so many people, out of fear of not getting exactly who they want, they settle, or because they too shy to approach or to start talking, they settle for somebody else that was just brave enough to like talk to them first. So you think, it's not exactly who I wanted, but let me just get that. It's like if you don't have clear vision of who you like and who you want. And let me tell you something, like this is crazy because I'm a person, for example, that not to make it about myself, but it just I'm a type of a person which I know so many people like me that it's hard for me, for example, to be attracted to someone physically. I like a lot of people mentally,
Wow.
but for me to be attracted to someone, like I don't know, I'm attracted to someone like once in 2 years. It's so hard for me. Like I don't know how people cheat. How do you like two people at the same time? For me, it's like a parallel reality because it's so hard for me to see a man and say, "Oh my God, you're sexy." Like it's hard for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
Like I only had I only had that maybe like four times
In your life?
times in my life.
Wow, that's
And so
interesting.
I sometimes I would date a guy that I'm saying, "Oh, he's cute and but he's so nice and he's kind and he's a gentleman and he has good values," and I go for it, but it never lasts. Because
Maybe
you
because the
have to
attraction is
go.
not there.
Yes, you have to go for someone that you like that's exactly your type. Like this is what you like because it's not going to last otherwise. And before people jump in and say, "Well, that's not the most important thing." I'm not saying it's the most important thing. I say it's essential for start. So yes, of course, it has to be whatever the values that you like or whatever is essential for you in a person, the kindness and the loyalty and all these things and financial motivation in a person. These, of course, things are a must. But the first step, the first step is has to be physical attraction. This is the people, and this is there's something so good that I've learned. like 2 years
Share
ago.
share it. Share it with
I'm
us.
gonna share something with you, okay? And I'm gonna change your life today. It's not I
Let's do
didn't
it.
say that. It's not out of my head, out of my mouth. I learned it from someone. I don't even know who said it. It was on Instagram. It was a reel. And I thought, oh my God, this makes so much sense. So I'll tell you this. But it's about people like why they settle. Give me a second. So you absolutely have to go for someone that besides the qualities that you're looking in person, you're also very attracted to them because this is the couples that are together for like 20, 30, 50 years. Those are the people because that was the system that they went by. Maybe it was by accident.
Especially from the place where we both kind of come in. I mean, if you're not getting married at like 21, 22, like you something is wrong with you.
Well, that is so outdated. That's like our parents'
Exactly.
generation.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Yeah, but you have to take in consideration this was because of like the after war situation, right? It was not many men, it was many women, and then it's like the repopulation issue. It came from those things. We grew up, not me and you, but our parents grew up on propaganda of you have to repopulate, you have to get married, you have to, like now in Russia, they're gonna pay you money if you get pregnant or something like that. I don't know. I heard some crazy stuff. So they encourage you to like repopulate. So it's not because it's true and it's correct. It's because, the societies is structured the belief and they're feeding it to you because they need you to repopulate.
Mm.
It has nothing to do with anything. People still would say, well, because when you're young, it's better, for like giving birth and this and that.
It's bullshit.
It's, of course, you can have
Wow.
a woman is about health. It's about health. A woman can have beautiful, healthy children in 30 and 35 and 40 and even 45. So it's about how healthy the body is. I know plenty of women that struggling to get pregnant when they're very young, but then others at 30 and 35 like this. So it doesn't have to do anything. It's fertility, it's different factors, but it has nothing to do with the age. And more than that, just my personal experience, I wouldn't advise anyone to have a child at 20,
No way.
21. You know what I'm saying? Because you are like your front lobe is not even developed yet. You are different person at 30. I don't know how old you are, but you literally different person. I feel like before 30, you don't even know what you are, to be honest with you. And so you should spend, I think, you should spend your at least early 20s to develop as a person, to build, to learn how to make money, to learn how to survive. You fresh out of high school, 17, 18 years old, you haven't seen outside. And then you're gonna go have a child in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's tricky. Of course, again, people do the way they want, the way it's suitable for them. There's a culture, there's religion involved
Yeah.
sometimes. But I had my son at 29 years old, and it was the best experience that I could ever ask for.
Wow.
It was incredible. I was fully cooked as a person. Fully cooked. I already made money. I had a lot of free time that I could dedicate. I was very calm as a person, way more
Like perfect timing. Yeah,
patience.
29. I mean,
Because
great age.
you develop mentally, everything changes. The way you see children when you're older is different. You're more careful, you're more gentle. It's just so many different things. You literally different person at 30. And so I said, let's go back to what I was saying,
Yeah.
what I learned.
The
Okay.
real
Okay.
that you saw.
And let me tell you, I'm not gonna try not to butcher it because, it's a little bit a couple of um parts there. So let me get this right. But the the point is going to be correct. So it's really about men, but technically it applies to kind of everyone. But it was like a study or something on men. Did you know that men split all women that they're romantically involved to 5 categories?
Wow.
Not intentionally, like in the back of their head. It's like they don't even know. It's so crazy. And as I'm gonna tell you, each category you're gonna be, oh my God,
What
oh
the
my
fuck?
you're gonna think about people in your life, women in your life, and This is going to be very interesting.
So it's 5 categories
5 categories.
for women and 5 categories for men?
It's kind of the same thing.
Hmm.
But they were saying it's like for men. But I'm just saying, after I heard it, I said, well, it's kind of like everybody, though. So, ready?
Yeah. Do it.
Buckle up. Buckle the fuck up because
We're
this
going
is
to fight.
interesting. So, the first one, again, remember, this is when you're romantically involved with a woman. The number one is no effort girl. This is a girl that you're not really attracted to, but you don't mind spending time with. And one of the reasons you don't mind, even though you're not too attracted to her, because she does
It-
everything by herself. Like
Mm-mm.
she will text you, she will call you, she will pull up on you. This is somebody that you don't have to do nothing for, and she will be there. She just happened to like you very much.
Yeah,
She's, like,
yeah.
obsessed with you, whatever.
It
So-
happens a lot of time.
So, exactly. So, this is like that's why I'm saying I can be married tomorrow if I want to, right? So it's like everybody can be in a relationship tomorrow. But this is a person that you're not gonna want to be in a relationship with, right? Because you're not really about them. So that's number one. Number two, it's good time girl. The good time girl is someone that you would maybe like go to hang out in the bar, have a drink, and then like spend a night later. Go to basketball game, do something here and
Whatever,
there,
travel, stuff like that.
just once in a while. But then you don't really talk for a few days or a week, and you don't mind. Like you have your own things. She has, you like each other. You just really enjoy each other's company, but not to the point that you want to build a relationship based on that.
Hmm.
The good time girl, okay? Those don't last very much. Usually it's kind of like a month or two things.
And then you'll
Mm,
switch another
yeah,
good girl.
But it was fun. It's like you
Yeah.
remember this girl, like, oh, she was really cool. Like she was
Yeah.
good conversation and she could drink me down
Right.
or whatever. Then third one is what most of people going to end up with is good enough girl.
Wow.
This is a person, I'm saying person because again, I think it's for everyone, is when it's like all boxes check out. Like she can be a good mother. She would be a good wife. She's helpful. She's kind. She's honest. She's like all these good qualities that you're looking for when you consider a relationship. And also you say, you know what? I'm not like extremely obsessed with her, but I am attracted to her. Like I, I feel I want her. Like I want her next to me and we are great together. But again, it's not somebody that you like dreamed about. It's not exactly your type. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, you're going out with her, but you're like,
You're like, I love
maybe like
you.
an emotive pass by and you're like inside you, you're like, damn, I should have been with her.
But she's just so good.
Yeah.
She's a wife material and she's beautiful. You say, she is beautiful. You can recognize a gorgeous woman,
For sure.
right? But there's the whole peaches situation. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you can be the most beautiful peach, but someone hates peaches. But anyways, my point is, she's a very good candidate and she is beautiful. And you are attracted to her, but you're not crazy about her. But you say, you know what? I'm going to marry this one. And this is most of people. This is most of people. Because this is where you think, I'm probably not going to get better than that. Like she has all these amazing qualities and she is beautiful. And we are good together. She's all of these beautiful things. And so this is the most people. The number 4. And this is perfection. This is the best scenario. This is what we all should strive for, but we don't have patience for it, is the dream girl.
This is number 4.
Or there's another one.
Wow.
The dream girl.
I'm curious now.
This is the girl that is exactly your type. You say, I like them 5'5", blonde, blue eyes. I like them giggly, and I like them shy, and I like her to go to the gym, and I like her to have her own interests and be kind, and I want her to have family value. Like everything, if you could just like Photoshop her, she's like right there. And you say, oh my goodness, this is
This is like
This is a
from
person.
God.
Yes, this is a person that you talk to people that in relationship for 5 years, for 10 years, and you ask something about their spouse, the partner, and they just like their eyes light up and they just get so happy. And you just say, like, tell me one good thing about her. And he just goes, "Oh, but there's so many more."
Yeah.
And they just so happy. It's like they really just complete each other. And they're so happy. This is a people that die on the same day together at 100 years old holding hands. And so this is what people don't have the patience for to wait. And
Mm.
people think sometimes, well, maybe it's not going to happen, you know? And so they settle for something less than that. And
Even though that's the dream girl, everything is working,
you know
have
so
good
many people
fun.
like that? I do too. It's like most of people that you know, low key, if you just separate them on the sides and you really ask them,
But
what really is?
I think what you mentioned, I think if you ask most of the people, it will be the category 3. I don't think it will be get to 4 or 5. I think it's like they met with somebody that they like, they respect, they have good fun, but deep down, maybe they're like, I should have went. Like it's not my number 4 kind of thing.
But the people getting mostly settled with the number 3.
Yeah,
That
that's
they
what
don't,
I
yeah, they
yeah.
don't believe they're gonna get to exactly what they want. How many times did you hear other people say, "Oh, your standards too high. You should lower your standards a little bit. Oh, you delusional," when you tell them all these different things you want in your person.
But let me ask you
Because
this,
people fundamentally don't believe it's possible to get a person exactly that you dream of.
right? But then you might find yourself in a position where you just continue to wait and wait because
Yes.
you getting as a guy, you're getting a lot of girls and you like them, but then you'll tell them, oh, maybe I have another level. Maybe you're always gonna have those
But
thoughts
no, but this is a selection process. You must date people to
to know.
see if you want to spend your years with or marry or whatever your intention is.
Correct.
Of course you have to. And and dating people, it's not about let me see if I can get somebody better, let me see if I can get somebody. That's not the point. The point is you understand very quickly in the beginning if has a real potential. It's true.
I agree. I agree.
The
I
problem
think if
with
it doesn't
us.
go to dates, you will never know. And I feel like a lot of either guys and women do a big mistake of not really exploring.
And you should try you should try with person already when people say, "Oh, he has potential." I say, "What kind of potential?" "Well, he doesn't have money, but he has good ideas. And technically he is a hard worker, so maybe. And he's not exactly my type. Like I like them, 6'2", but he's like 5'6", so he's not exactly my type, but he's like works out, so I like that part. I like the muscles." See, yeah, it's a potential. People, the potential. It's like,
The fuck is that?
first of all, potential is when you look at person and it's what you would do in their position. That's seeing potential in someone. It has nothing to do with what they're gonna do with their life or what they look like. It's like their height, the appearance, the physical attraction. It needs to be as a person. It's looks. I don't care if I sound shallow, you guys. Whoever decides to go sit there and lie to themselves that this is not important, you go ahead and do it. It's important. But when you try to convince yourself that the person looks complete opposite from what you're attracted to, really, it's going to backfire later. You know what I'm saying? And
Do
so
you
you
feel like
say
a lot of girls are lying to them, like to themselves?
everybody lying to themselves.
Wow.
You've been with women before that it's not exactly what you want, but you told yourself story
Mm,
why you should go for it.
yeah.
We all done that because that's what humans do for the most part, because we're not meant to be alone. Some people, well, I don't know about myself, I love it. But a lot of people do want companionship. A lot of people do want to be with someone and they enjoy, and we love, you know? And so, out of the desire to be with someone and to be loved and to love, because that's a necessity too. We need to love someone. We need an outlet to get these nice emotions and that euphoria. We need someone. So it can be a different love. It can be somebody that you romantically involved. It can be children. It can be your pet. It can be different love, but we need to love. And so eventually it's like you get to the point like I really want to be with someone, like I'm really ready, and you're going to actively look, and you're going to grab the first one that's kind of like suitable, even though they're not exactly what you wanted. This is what I mean. So this is when you're going to tell yourself all these things, that why, pros and cons. You start making lists. Well, this is why I should give it a shot. And it's fine. It's fine when it's like almost what you want, and it's still everything about person is great and you're giving a shot, and that's fine, and that might work and you might fall in love, but there are levels to those things. So it's if it's something that is drastic, that exactly you want someone financially motivated to be with, you want someone that is working out, and this person is not, they're just not into the gyms, they're not physically in shape and stuff like that. You're not gonna be able to take this for a long time.
Right.
It's not your type. It's not your type. The way they dress, the way they talk, their culture sometimes. Like, this is what I mean by physical. And when you look, it's like a candy to your eye. You have to date someone that is a candy to the eye.
Wow.
Have to. Let's move on to the fifth one. So, the dream girl or the dream boy is the fourth one. And I wish that to everyone, because
Yeah, I was like,
this
I was
is
thinking
what you
that's
really
that's category 5.
no, the category 5,
It's a whole nother level.
it's the trickiest one. It's out of my league, girl. Now, this really is about men, though. As I said before, it kind of applies to everyone, men and women, but this particularly is more for men, because women don't have that. Women
Yeah.
don't look at men and say, oh, he's completely out of my league. Like, I don't deserve him.
It can happen, but most of the time it wouldn't happen.
Eh.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it really depends on the girl and how she look. If it's a good looking girl,
because
I,
we
I,
always,
I don't think it will happen for her. But
we always look for someone that is better than us, as a man.
Yeah.
Just natural.
For sure.
But this is what happens the opposite way. And out of my league, girl, and I experienced that myself,
Wow.
and I say it humbly, just because I'm a business owner and I always was, active and on top of things, and I work out and I take care of myself. So why am I saying that? I'm not saying that out of self-confidence. I was in a situation. I was in relationships that the men would tell me, I cannot believe you with me. This is the first red flag. So this is when a man go for a girl that he just knows it's not his level. He's not there, and he's maybe never gonna be there. And so he goes for it anyways. Because why? It's good for your ego. You're proud of yourself. You pulled something like this.
Damn.
Like, this is probably never gonna happen again. Like, I had men telling me, I can't believe you said yes to go on a date. Like, I can't believe it. And at the time, I would take it as a compliment. It is not a compliment. It is a red flag, because this
It's
is
a red
what's
flag for the guy or for the girl?
for the girl. Like, if
Wow.
the guy tells you, I cannot believe you said yes, is because he already understands that he's not on your level. He knows he's not going to quite, get
Get
to
you,
where
yeah.
you are. And so, why is it bad? When a man gets with a woman that is just not the same level. For example, my personal experience is when the man didn't have money, for example, just unsuccessful financially. And I did have a phase in my life that I was thinking it doesn't matter. I really thought, who
Like,
cares who makes money?
Yeah, like you don't need him
Yeah,
in a way.
like, I didn't know. I mean, like, it, for a few years, I really believe that it doesn't matter who makes the money in the family.
Mm.
Like, I was thinking to myself, if
It's-
I make enough money to sustain 4 families full time, why is it important that the guy makes the money? Like, I don't care. I had that. And it never worked out. And it always backfired. And that's a different conversation for literally another hour. But I'm going to bring you back to like that situation. So when a
But
guy,
that's interesting. What you're talking about, like I feel like the audience will love because
and
like
I'll explain you why
and
now
a lot of
also.
girls don't want to talk about it, but it's like super important to talk about those stuff.
It's
And
essential. And so what happens is when a guy goes for a girl that is not his level, that should be with somebody bigger, stronger, advanced in life, and they still go for it because again, it's like when else is that gonna happen? So they go for a girl, and in the beginning they are ecstatic because this is the man that will tell you, I am so impressed with you, with all that you've done. I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. And like, I don't know anyone like you. And they're so impressed with you. And in the beginning, they even going to use that as a fuel to be better themselves. They're going to get motivated because of the woman. They're going to train harder. They're going to go
try
want to
to
make
make
more
more money.
money.
Yeah.
They're going to do all of these things.
But
But the reason the guy is not where he could be, like the girl or whatever, or more, is because that's not his character and not his personality. So all that fuel he's using from her and he feels very motivated, it's not going to last. After a little while, he's going to understand that I can't work this much. I don't want to go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm tired, like mentally exhausted from all of these things that she does because they're not the same. And so what's going to happen is he's going to tone it down. They're going back to working out less. They're going back to skipping work, having more days off, doing other things, maybe less discipline with social media. Like I would tell guys, that's for years. If you ask me out, the first thing I'm doing, I'm going to look at who you follow. If I see you follow 600 people, I already know half of them is going to be girl. Do you know 600 people? You don't. And then the girls, and this is 100% of the time, if I look at the girls, it's never going to be doctors, lawyers, psychologists. Because
gym.
I follow like 20 men, but they all doctors.
Wow.
They all like it's like different ones. There's psychology and there's another nutrition. There's that something else. Another like a business genius. It's like I don't follow men because he's good looking. And so if I see something like that, that you follow a bunch of girls in bikinis and stuff, it's immediate no.
Wow.
It's immediate. This is the biggest red flag because, and the man tells me, for example, oh, if I'm in a relationship, I'm gonna clean it up. Why? Isn't it what you like, anyways?
Mm.
So it's like they're doing all of that. All of a sudden, they follow a girl. See, the discipline and everything goes down, and so now he understands he cannot be like that. So the next thing is gonna come. And that's why I say it's tricky. It's this part. They're gonna start to try to bring you to their level instead. So they're gonna start to belittle you a little bit here and there, to poke you here and there, to pick a little
Like what?
fight. Like, oh yeah,
bunch of
no, we
stuff.
don't really have to like drive this car. Like it can be like and I don't want to say different cars because I don't want to offend anyone. All cars are great. They take you places. But I'm just saying, like I had in my personal, I'm gonna bring it to my personal experience because I'm not gonna offend anyone. So a guy would say, I don't have to live like place like this. Like I'll be finding like a studio. Like I'll be happy. Why are you saying that exactly? And like I'm paying for the house. You live here. Why would you say that? You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So little by little, they start like belittling you a little bit or whatever.
That's like such a turn off. Like I
But it's
imagine like
what's
myself as
going
a girl. I'm like I'm out completely.
that's what's going to happen. And it's little comments to make you little shittier, feel a little shittier by yourself. And so they're trying to do this. And here is the most difficult part about this. They still won't leave. They won't leave. That's why I'm saying it's the trickiest one. Why they won't leave? Because they
But
know.
why does the girl will not kick them out? Like
So this is what's gonna happen.
that's
Well,
interesting.
because
to me.
because not everybody, the second you turn, they kick you out. Women stay when you cheat. Women stay when you beat them. Women
But
stay when you
does
lie.
women still like them after all those questions?
It depends on a woman. That's why I'm no longer with these people. Because the second I sense the change, I'm out. But other women or men, even they don't do that. So the trickiest part is this: they don't leave. because they understand that this was it. I'm not going to get another 10 out of 10 smoke show with money and whatever and loyal and sit at home, and it's never going to happen again. And they don't want to leave. So two things going to happen next. How this is going to end? They either going to become insufferable, so the girl leaves, because that's going to escalate. The belittling, the little disrespect,
Yeah.
so you're gonna kick them out as a woman, or they start cheating. Because they're gonna eventually start going somewhere where they feel bigger and better, but they still won't leave. Because they see
Like,
something so grand in you, they do know that they're lucky. So that is the trickiest one. And so this is the 5 categories that men split women that they're romantically involved. It's not my words. It's a study, and I heard that online, and I thought it's incredible. And you really can find examples out of your own life, and that's why I feel like this is so correct. This is why you have to really you have to understand in these things. You have to understand, at least in basic psychology, so you can understand people, understand yourself, and you can make better choices, especially when you get with another human for the rest of your life.
what do you think on who should make more, the guy or the girl in in a relationship in today's days? Because I think 50 years ago it was different.
It was completely different.
80 years ago it was 100% different.
Completely different. It was easy to be a provider back then because your house was costing $30.
Yeah, exactly.
And the food cost nothing. Anyone could be a provider.
Yeah.
Now you have to be very intelligent and capable to be a provider because everything is expensive. Also, there's way more opportunities. And now the amount of money you can earn completely different. We're talking millions,
Yeah.
right? Very successful people. So everything is different, absolutely. But who should earn more? Sometimes there's levels to it, and I think it stopped being matter at some point. But I think as long as I don't think that matters.
But
I don't think that matters.
I think it does. I think it does. Like,
I
I
mean,
think that
maybe
a
on a
lot of,
lower level, if a girl earns 6,000 a month and the guy earns 1,500 a month, that's a no go.
I think
know?
for adults it should matter. I think as a guy, it should matter to you. Like, I think, like you mentioned, if the guy will make less than the woman, somehow there is always going to be some tweaks. Like the woman will punch and
I mean, again, there's levels to it. For example, in my situation, and it doesn't matter how much I earn. If I meet a guy, let's say, that makes $500,000 a year, like I'll be super happy with that number because, and I don't want to offend anyone. I'm saying, I'm saying against my income. I'm saying because people think that somebody like me, like with a business and stuff, like I need a multimillionaire. It's not necessarily true. Because if it's somebody that earns 400,000, 500,000, it's like not multimillionaire. I'll be super happy because that's going to be very, very comfortable life. Again, it depends on the person what they're looking for. I don't necessarily need a private jet in my life, and it would be nice.
yeah.
But it's like it won't make me happier.
But do you look
You
for it? Do you look for men that makes more than you, lives better life, that you're like,
Yes, I mean because
because there is
also,
wants and
but it's
needs,
not
right?
because of the money either. When you look at the man that makes more money than you, it's usually why? Because they are smarter than me. They know more than me. Like I need to, if I'm with someone, and you're gonna hear the same thing from pretty much all business women. You want to be with someone that you want to learn from. Like you admire them, you have so much respect for them because they're smarter than you, they have more experience in things. It's about that. It's not about amount of money, really.
Wow.
I mean, there's different situations. Of course, it's not every situation is the same. You can have a guy that is a crypto bro or finance bro. It's just they just were in the right place, the right
Yeah, yeah,
time. They
yeah.
learned a little bit. They took a course, whatever, and he just went for them. You maybe not, genius in anything. So I'm not saying every situation is the same for this reason. But a man that like built something, or he went to school for 7 years, and now let's say he's a lawyer or he's a doctor and he has a clinic or this, because I know a lot of people personally that are multimillionaires, that they build their businesses strictly on like the capacity of their own brain, like they're so intelligent and knowledgeable, and that's how they made the money. Like, this is extremely impressive. So if a man makes more money than me, usually just out of the experience, it's not a theory, it's just out of my interactions with people, usually when I see men that they're like very wealthy, is because they are so smart. They so smart. And it's like, let's bring you back to crypto, bros. You can be multimillionaire for like 4 years.
You can.
A lot of these people go back to having no money. They go blow their money on the Lambos, they buy crazy shit, whatever, and then something snaps, something changes, and
Well,
they go down. And it's like a lot of businesses are like that too, and all the new ways of making money. But when a person has a business for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and they still killing it, like they still on top, it's here.
it's like a tournament.
That's it. This is strictly because you are so smart.
I want to ask you a question. What do you think is like the percentage of what, let's say, good looking girls that have successful businesses or look for? Is it in today's days like, I don't know, 50% physical, 50% emotional, like smart, money wise, all that? Or it's like, I don't know, like 20% physical and then the rest, like how you are, how good you are at what you do, you have business or not? Like, how do you look at it?
Like, what do you mean? Like, how they select the man?
Yeah, yeah. Like what is it? Is in today's days it's more physical or it's more like you mentioned, emotional? Do you have a business? Do you understand about other stuff?
It absolutely depends.
Depends, right?
It's a great question. It's so funny because I actually had this conversation with somebody today.
Yeah, like it's interesting to know like what are girls looking for?
It
Successful ones.
depends. It depends on, believe it or not, mostly on the age.
Wow.
That's big. So let me tell you why, right?
Yeah,
So
that's that's interesting.
when you younger girl, so when myself, I was like around 20s, or a little bit younger, when you just start having your first boyfriend, whatever. And then when you still like in your 20s, maybe till mid 20s, towards late 20s, it's like all you care about, for the most part, that the guy is good looking. Very, very small percentage of girls, 20 years old.
Yeah, well, care about like
Yeah.
business and
Yeah, they
stuff
just,
like
because
that.
the juices are flowing. You just want, the physical. I don't know how much I can say in words here, but it's like you just want to,
The good time. Yeah,
you want
yeah.
to be excited. Because when you're so young, all you want to be is like excited and obsessed and emotions, and like you want like the fireworks of emotions, and you tend to go. It's like you still didn't calm down from high school. When you have a crush on someone, you're like, oh, I want this
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and it's like you select this way. And I was like that too, and I know so many people, everybody. I don't know one 20-year-old that like has common sense when they select, a partner, unless they're from maybe like very connected and good family, and they like being taught what to look for, and they're like protected by common sense and values. It's different. But on like the nature level, it's all about that, being with somebody attractive. As you get older and you get smarter and the life changes, you start really seeing that this, yes, it's important to be attracted to someone, but
I need
when
some
when
more.
you merge lives, when you say, I'm going to dedicate my time to you, and I'm going to involve myself in your life. So now I understand, I impact you every single day. I impact everything that you do and you are. I impact how your work, because if you're in a bad mood, you're not gonna work as well, right? I impact your motivation about things. I impact your health. Like, I impact so many things. So that's a big responsibility. So once you understand that level, being attracted to someone is an entry level. Yes, it's important, and it's an entry. You looking at it as entry level,
For
because
sure.
now you,
Without it.
yeah, because now you're like, okay, you're very attractive. I like you. Let's sit down and talk more. Because
Yep.
what else?
What you got?
Exactly. And this is when the most important, really, I believe that's the problem with many, many people. And whoever understands it, by the way, you see them single for longer periods of times. At the time as they're single, it's like they stay single for longer. Whoever understands this, the priority should be when you're looking for someone to be with in relationship is to be compatible. To be compatible. Because many times you're so attracted to someone, and let's say they're very sweet. Like I love sweet men. I love charismatic men that are just so gentle, and they notice details, and they're just like so into person. I like that. So you could have that, but then you find out that I kind of noticed that he may be like looking twice or three times when like a smoke show passes by. So he probably is just as sweet to everybody else. But they're like, but it's okay, it's okay. You know, he's like this with me, and I like that, and I'm super attracted to. So that's right there. It's not even a red flag. Is that how the person is? So it's like you really need to understand that everything that you notice, that's how the person is. And this is the time for you to make your selection because
It's not anymore that you are the young girl at your
no,
20s. So I like
no,
it. So
yes,
so you're saying it's all about the age mostly.
it,
Well, big
experience.
part of it, yeah.
Because some people learn earlier, it took me a little while. So because I didn't have much fun in my young life, I started working very very early.
So that's why I saw, but and I'm sorry I'm cutting you off, but I saw a lot of shows on Netflix on stuff like that. Just kind of I was curious about successful women, and what you found mostly. I saw a show on Israel about maybe you saw it. It was about the most successful women lawyers.
Mhm.
And I told to my brother, look at this. It's absolutely crazy. All of them, 6 or 7 women, all single. I looked at was not Selling Sunset, one of the other I think it was New York, Certain City. All of the most successful realtors as women make tons of money, all single. Selling Sunset, all singles. And I'm like, I tell my brother, I'm like, holy crap, like how?
I think women like that misunderstood. We are misunderstood.
By the guys?
Yes, because people ask, "Oh, how come you so pretty?" and all
Or like
that,
how?
and why you single? Something is wrong with you, or whatever. And it's like you have to understand this very important part. As you mature and you learn about life and yourself and people, and you know what is good for you. Mostly, you know what is good for you, and you kind of like gather that finally. So all of a sudden, let's say finally you got to the point after a lot of work that you put into yourself. These women that you see, those attorneys and whatever, they put so much work into themselves
A lot.
emotionally, mentally, financially, physically. It takes so much work to bring yourself to a very good place in life. And so when you're there and you have all that you need, you have a peaceful home, a beautiful home, you're so calm, you're glowing because your cortisol is so low. Nobody's
You make
stressing
good
you out.
money, you take
You
care
have
of
your love. You
yourself.
don't have to ask anything for anything.
Yeah.
You just literally happily just going through life, through your day, and every single day is a delight. Every night is restful. Nothing against people that snore, but every night is restful. And it's like everything is just amazing and easy. And so all of a sudden, by the way, big factor, women like that, what is a big factor in our life that is present? The time. Because in order for me, for example, to make enough money to sustain my lifestyle and to be able to take care of my family, I take care of people financially. It's not about me wanting a nice watch, a nice car, or vacation. I literally pay for people's lives. And so it's not just me, I'm responsible for other humans. And so it requires time for me to be able to make that money, enough
Right.
money for all of it. So I work 7 days a week. I don't work all day, but I work every day. And so for me to date someone, what does that mean for me? I have to make time for them.
And you might not have it.
It's a big sacrifice. I can make time. You make time. But if I make time, and it's fine for, a little while, for you have to do it, dates, to spend time together, all that stuff. And it's okay. But the fact is, if I work less, the way my business is, if I work less, I do make less money.
Wow.
And so you have to understand that that is a factor too. Women that have their own businesses is because you have to now keep working. You have to keep carrying everything. Those women have responsibilities. They have children. They take care of their parents. They pay things, for them, for other people. And it's like there's so much responsibility. And now that you get into relationship, if the guy is not going to help you to cover those things, now you lose.
Yeah.
If the guy now happens to be short-tempered and now he just gets irritated, for things, so he picks up fight for no reason, now you're in a bad mood and you're gonna have a hard time being creative and productive. The guy is you notice he's like after some girls and some shady stuff on Instagram, or I don't know what. Now you're stressed. Now your cortisol is up here. You start look Cortisol levels when they are high make you less productive. It makes you more tired. It makes you ugly.
Yeah.
It
I
literally makes
agree.
you gain weight. People say, "Oh, how come, when I dated you, you look like this, and then now you're single, you're glowing." It was you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You made me ugly, like your face swelling, all that stuff. It's like it literally changes your appearance. So when you have your life so peaceful and it's just nice, it's very hard to say, you know what, I'm gonna take a shot and I'm gonna try to be with you because you're great. That's why I'm saying you have to be very selective.
Wow. 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 Elena, thank you so much for coming on. It was absolutely a pleasure, talking to you. I'm sure the audience took a lot from you. And, I wanted to talk more about business, but you gave us so much insight on relationship and how successful women, what they should do, what should they think. We talked about the category. Thank you so much. How can people find you if they want to connect with you?
First of all, thank you for having me.
It was absolutely a pleasure.
And Instagram is It's Lena Asher with
It's Lena Asher.
It's Lena Asher. And it was delightful. Thank you so much. It was very interesting.
Absolutely,
I
my
really
pleasure.
appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for coming. And so, guys, if you like it, make sure you give it a like, support the page. Put in the comments which you guys think I should interview next. And I look forward to this episode.